In this video, we're going through the Land Before Time Burger King toys from 1997. And yes, Burger King had toys, okay? I think they still have toys, but when you think of Happy Meal toys, I'm not thinking Burger King, okay? But these were awesome. And of course, the Land Before Time was a staple as a 90s kid. These came out in 1997. The original movie came out, Land Before Time, in 1988. That was before I was born, but I'm very excited to be able to do this little toy review, going through, of course, what is in my toy box time capsule from 1997, which is the Land Before Time toys. So let's get into it. Of course, always some hot takes with my mom, who originally bought those toys for me and saved them for me, which is always so fun. And then passing them down from generation to generation, myself passing them down to my son Caleb and his hot takes. So let's get into it. Thank you to the Land Before Time for creating an entire generation of dinosaur kids.
So let's explore these toys. Which one do you want to do first?
How about Sarah?
Ooh.
Sarah was my favorite because my daughter's name is Sarah. And when this movie came out, Sarah was 7.
So, of course, somehow my mom started off with one of the toys that got mixed in that wasn't from Burger King, ended up being from Wendy's, because we did a little bit of research and found out that this set that we're going to look through today and reminisce about was 6 toys from Burger King. So the 6 original toys we'll talk through today, but of course we will just start off with this random bobblehead looking cute Sarah toy from Wendy's.
Both my son and daughter liked to play with them while they watched the movie. It was an adorable movie. Yeah, Sarah was always my favorite. Dallas wasn't as big a fan of dinosaurs as Sarah. Just loved the movie, so what the kids really loved is to have the toy to play with while they watched the movie. Even after they watched the movie, they would just play with the toys. So I had to have all the toys, all the characters.
So I love to geek out of all the little details that went into some of these films that I enjoyed growing up, and of course played with the toys. So I'm just going to read off some of this that I found interesting. First of all, I found out that The Land Before Time was actually conceived as a dialogue-free movie. Can you imagine this little dinosaur film of all those little kid voices and not having that? So what I read here is that in the mid-1980s, they were wanting to do this soft picture about 5 little dinosaurs that they grew up together working as a group, but the inspiration came from Disney's Fantasia, which was in 1940, a scene of the prehistoric beasts that go into the sequence called Rite of Spring. And I actually do remember that kind of the clash of dinosaurs coming into Fantasia, and it would be fun to watch that again. But anyway, Spielberg wanted its own dinosaur characters to follow suit and remain non-talking, non-verbal. So how interesting would that have been for this movie? I'm actually really glad that they didn't go that direction, because I love the interaction of these little kids. It was like a little band of friends, and I'm so glad they ended up going the other direction. I'm also reading that the original cut of this film was scarier. It was actually going to get a PG rating and not the expected general audience rating. And so that caused the director, Don Bluth, to clash with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. And again, George Lucas, known for Star Wars, and Steven Spielberg. I mean, these 3 really had the making of such an amazing film, but it's too bad that they were clashing so much. So they were all not happy with each other, and that's too bad, because I think they did a great job with this. It was also supposed to be a 10-minute longer film, but it was interesting because this ended up being a major success and one of the top box office hits, and at the end of it really had the highest grossing animated film until The Little Mermaid debuted in 1989. So I think they made a great choice to make this more family friendly and not as scary, and too bad that the 3 of these didn't work together again, because they did an outstanding job as a team. All right, let's get into the toys, shall we? We will have Caleb, my son, and my mother, we call her GeeGee, go through the toys, and we'll have some fun showing all these little details and our hot takes. Let's get into it.
We go through the actual Burger King, Sarah. So let's move these guys out of the way. and we'll talk about Sarah. So, this toy is actually it has a really cool feature that I've never seen before. It really captures like the essence of Sarah in the movies. So it's like one of those small Dollar Tree looking car toys where if you pull it back, it winds it up and then you release it and it rolls. But then when it hits something, it backs up. So then it can ram into it again, which is a really cool thing because in the movies, we may show that on screen, it shows that Sarah likes to ram into things because she's a Triceratops. That's the name, Sarah, Triceratops. So, GeeGee, what's your hot take?
That is adorable. I just learned something about the dinosaur. That's really, really interesting.
So on to the next one.
So she liked ramming into things.
Yeah.
And that's what the toy does. That is really cute. Let's get a better, okay, oh yeah, let's have her, this, she did it to my arm, or my hand. Let's do that again.
Okay, so on to the next one. We'll look at Ducky. And so Ducky actually has what looks like maybe tree stars or like flower plants on her neck, like a tree necklace, which I've never seen in like any movies before, and she looks super, super happy. And this is one of those regular toys where you wind it up, it backflips. Hey, it did it! That's so cool. Yeah, so I really like, I feel like this toy, it's not like they're really old, they're not like it's high quality plastic and it's lightweight and stuff. It's old, so it's like a basic toy, but it's like so interesting. So what do you think? What do you think of Ducky?
Adorable.
Oh, and so for those who are wondering, Ducky is actually based off of the Parasaurolophus, a dinosaur that had a long crest going like from like right here on its head to the back, and it was hollow. And so what it did was it made their call like louder because it had the vocals had all that room to like bounce around in the back, and then once it had carried and echoed and stuff, then it would come out of the mouth and it would be way louder so other creatures could hear it, which I think is really interesting. It's cute to see these as like little babies and stuff. That's really cute. We're still eating chocolate.
On to next.
We're still eating chocolate.
So,
We can't
speaking
talk if we
of
have chocolate in our mouth.
food, what did these dinosaurs eat?
Well, that is perfect going into the next one, where we have Spike. So Spike, his play feature is when you pull the leaf from his mouth. There's two different ways you can do this. You can either let go of the leaf and it goes into his mouth and you can see his little tail, like, here, look how it wags because he's so excited. Or you can hold the leaf and he's like, hey, I want that. And then he goes right for it. And of course the legs can move slightly like this to really, like, let's say you want him to be like that, so he's like running.
Am I correct in saying that in the movie they portrayed Spike to be more like a pet or a dog?
No. So when they found Spike in the first movie, they actually found him as an egg. And Ducky was like the mother of Spike, taking care of him, because he was just a baby. He couldn't even talk. He was just like, "Arr." So he is portrayed like even right here, he's like his eyes are kind of like
More like a little brother.
more of like a
Yeah, like a little baby brother.
yeah, kind of.
Look up close at his face so we can see his cute look.
Yeah, so his eyes are kind of farther apart than they should be because he's not the brightest bulb in the batch. What do you think of Spike?
Size him up real good.
Look at every little part of him.
Well, he looks like it's a tasty leaf.
It's not a tree star though. And so Spike, going on to the species that he is, Spike is a Stegosaurus, and we actually looked this up. In Stegosaurus, what scientists think, Stegosaurus hatchlings, even back then, they were pretty accurate with the little sails on the back, or the plates.
It just go forever. It's really impressive.
Actually being
knows his stuff.
actually being like super small, like nubs, and then as they grow into an adult, they actually grow larger. And recent studies have actually shown that the bony plates on its back actually helped with cooling itself down, maybe either to make shade or keeping the heat inside of the plates to then be released.
Wow.
When it's sleeping or something like that. I don't know everything. That's just my hot take. Caleb's hot take.
Very good.
Super cool.
On to the next one. All right. So this is Petrie. Well, actually, no. We'll save Petrie for last because he is very special. Let's go with Littlefoot.
He's
Oh,
the
yeah.
star.
God, what a contribution. Hand him over. Tell us more. Wind
I
him
don't
up.
know. That's all I know. He's the star.
So Littlefoot is the main character, and he's the one to bring the group together in the first movie, if you've watched it. So, let's talk about the play feature. So what you do is you wind up the toy. I like to spin him around. It's just fun. And then he has this really cool walking motion that I haven't seen in any other like wind-up toy. He kind of moves his head side to side, and he kind of just like waddles around, which is it's really cute. It'll go on for a while because it's not using much gear power to move the legs just a little bit. And I just think this is really cool, especially for back then in like what 1987, 1989.
1997. Watch it.
So this was probably a movie after the second movie. Maybe these were like for the second movie. Yeah, because we have Chomper. Okay, we'll get to him in a second. But about Littlefoot, what is he and what is he? So in the movie, they say that he is actually a long neck, but that is not a type of dinosaur. A long neck, what they say, is a dinosaur with a longer neck. They do not actually say what species of dinosaur he is, but I can, just by looking at him and looking at where the nostrils are placed, you can infer that he is based off of the Brachiosaurus, or what a lot of people misconceive as the name as a Brontosaurus. It is Brachiosaurus. Fight me, I'll win. So, Brachiosaurus was a very large dinosaur of the sauropod. I can't really remember if or of quadruped dinosaurs, and was not at all one of the largest of the dinosaurs with a long neck, or long neck dinosaurs. They were definitely not the largest. That goes to the Argentinosaurus or the Titanosaurus, but they were pretty large, probably spanning about 5 stories tall. And so I think he's really cool. On to the next one.
What do you think?
Wow. Wow.
Any contribution?
You're so smart.
She is a grandma of
He's so
little
smart.
words.
Dinosaurs have always been your favorite.
Yeah.
And finally, Chomper, which I guess if we're going with the dinosaur theme, the creators must have realized that they needed a friendly T-Rex, right?
Okay, well, we'll get into that first in a second.
Go for it.
So this is Chomper, either from the second movie or the third movie. Chomper is a purple T-Rex, and his play feature is you wind him up, and he walks. And so when he walks, and he actually uses little wheels at the bottom, this one is not gear-powered, but these are. You can see the walking. And so when he walks, it also powers his mouth to open and close, which is really neat. It's like he's just like yapping around, yapping and talking. Blah, 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 blah,
He's
blah.
chomping.
Maybe.
Very good, Geeky. Very good.
And if you want him to talk a lot, like a long-winded speech, then you can go.
And finally,
So Chomper is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, or T-Rex for short. And per the first movie, they almost get killed and demolished by a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex. So you could tell that they were probably a little bit hesitant to bring a Tyrannosaurus Rex into their group, especially after Littlefoot's last family member dies to a giant T-Rex fight, which was an epic battle, gotta say. But Chomper's really cute. I don't have any memories of him other than they weren't exactly friendly to him at first. Well, they were friendly, but they were like they were nervous around him. Moving on.
finally.
What's your hot take?
I feel sad that they weren't nice to him.
No, they were nice to him. They were just like worried
Standoffish.
about him.
They were standoffish. Well, you know, T-Rex are the ones that are usually the most aggressive. And look at all those
No.
teeth. Look at all those teeth.
They were not the most aggressive.
I always thought they were.
The T-Rex for sure.
No, they were just the most famous. Are you kidding?
Well, usually the kids...
Utah Raptor, Velociraptor, Microraptor, Archaeopteryx, Spinosaurus, Baryonyx, Allosaurus were all probably a lot more vicious than the T-Rex because the T-Rex was a lot bigger, so it usually only went after larger prey, and they wouldn't go and try to kill everything they saw.
But what about the Giganotosaurus?
The Giganotosaurus, they were even bigger, so they usually went after larger prey, like the Titanosaurus, which I don't even know if they were in the same time period. But, so yeah, stop making that misconception. The T-Rex is just the most famous. I don't even know why. There's a lot of dinosaurs and a lot of predatory dinosaurs that are actually a lot like cooler, and the T-Rex is pretty bland.
Well, I think if we were to do a toll, the T-Rex is always the most popular.
A poll.
Yes.
Yeah, that. Okay.
Yeah, it's the most popular, and I don't know why, because it's not very cool. Okay, moving on to Petrie, and we actually have to fill him up with water for his play feature, but before that, I'll show that if you push down his legs, it makes his wings flap, but that also makes him squirt water. So I'll be right back.
No. We don't want to actually put water in him.
Yeah,
He's
but
gonna
Yeah,
mold.
we'd have to.
Then he's gonna mold.
No, it's just water. We have to do it for the tape. Okay? We have to. Okay, yes, I want to see. It's worth it.
I have filled him up with water, and let's watch him squirt water. I said, let's watch him squirt water.
He didn't. He's gonna do it now, right in the face.
Do you think he like molded up?
maybe.
Don't worry, we have another one.
Put the switch down and see if something happens with that bottom switch.
So, his little feet or what?
Here. Let's see the bottom switch.
Ah.
Yeah, so that bottom switch is supposed to hold water. I don't know.
Where did you put the water?
In the switch. That's where it holds the water.
Now it's gonna mold.
So where did the water go then? Let's see. See if it's
Not worth it.
See?
Maybe you didn't put enough water in there.
It overflowed twice.
Well, anyways, and
Oh, it
that's
smells
Petrie's-
bad. It probably already molded.
That's the problem with the water toys.
Okay, well, let's talk about Petrie and then we'll throw them out.
No, we're not gonna throw them out.
We have another one.
I don't care. You're not throwing them away.
We'll just use a hairdryer.
Okay, so let's talk about Petrie. What is Petrie? Petrie is a pteranodon, not a pterodactyl, a pteranodon. And stop again, like with the Brachiosaurus and Brontosaurus, it's Brachiosaurus. With the pteranodon, it's not a pterodactyl, it's a pteranodon. And a lot of scientists have gotten really heated conversations about it, and it's a pteranodon. But so pteranodons are the most known aviatory reptile and are not dinosaurs, they are aviatory reptiles. And he is the only one of the group that cannot, well, actually, he is also a part of the group that cannot fly. He cannot fly, but pteranodons should be able to fly. That's why he's the runt of the group.
Very good, Cal.
Let's see if... I'm really upset about, like, I filled him up with water and everything.
Do you want to go try and see if the other one will squirt water?
Yeah. Okay, I'm back with the water in, and I have high hopes. What do you think? You think it'll work?
Mm-hmm. I have a
Okay,
good feeling.
let's see. Oh!
Did you see? Did you get
Watch,
it?
watch. Yes! We did it! It works. I filled this one up a little bit more. I think what happened is I was holding it in a way where it would overflow even if it wasn't full. But it works. Look at that.
That's really cute.
Now we gotta get a paper towel so we don't ruin the table. But, so that's the play feature. He squirts water, which is really cool. So, we're gonna clean up this table, and we're gonna empty out the water, and we'll see you back. Well, so let's look at the toy, and this one it's a very simple toy. This is actually two pieces, and you can see it's melted together with the seam. And it's just one piece of, like, two pieces of hollow plastic melted together. And the main feature of this toy, the main play feature, is literally that the head is able to sit there looking like it defies gravity, and you can touch it, you can move it. And it's a very simple toy, but I think it gets the message across pretty cool, and I can see myself playing with this.
Alright, flying over.
He really squirts good too.